What's cracking with you people? Anansi here and welcome back to Daxter. In the last one, we completed our second trip to the strip mine. And defeated the easiest boss in the game. In my opinion anyway. So you guys might have actually had a harder time with it than I did. In this one, we're going to finish off our business here with the power station by going to the lumber mill. And I'm going to be 100% with you. This is my least favorite level in the game.
Alright, well, you came to the right place. There are huge bugs dropping disgusting eggs all over. We set up bug zappers, but everybody's afraid to man them. No, I do it myself. But I have carpal tunnel.
But yeah, this is my least favorite level in the game, and it's not because it's a bad level. On the contrary, I think it's a pretty good level. It's just boring. Like, in my honest opinion, I think this is probably the most boring level in the game. It's a very bland color palette. And me personally, I got lost here pretty easily. And not because it's like it was hard to navigate, it's because the way I explored this level, because this is a pretty open-ended level. This is a little bit more asymmetric than the last two we went through. The way I explore levels in this game, I end up going backwards through the level. And
There are still more of those. Thanks.
I know. Give me a minute. Okay, so I didn't do that right. Okay, so yeah, I ended up going backwards through this level on my first run through, in a sense that I went out of my way to try to get all the precursor orbs.
There are still more of those.
I know. Give me a sec. I'm trying to get this platforming thing taken care of here. And when I went backwards through the level, I ended up having to essentially reorient myself to be able to find all the hidden collectibles and get to where I need to get to. Oh well, I missed that. Okay, give me a sec. Yeah, I accidentally hit the switch when I was supposed to. But yeah, now I'm gonna go back to the level. I have to go try to find all the hidden stuff, and it ended up taking like an extra 5 minutes longer than it really needed to. I don't think they set this level's asymmetry up enough in such a way that complemented the explorative nature of Daxter. Because, like I said, but barring the last, I want to say 2 levels, Daxter is a pretty exploration-heavy game. You know, granted, you know, most platformers generally are. That's how you get your longevity out of them. Unless you're Sonic, and I would argue... No, I think it's just Sonic. I can't think of too many other ones that don't do it. Anyway, so step on this button, and then you just want to wait for that thing to fly around. But yeah, most platformers in like the Mario vein, the Jack and Daxter vein, and I would argue to some extent Ratchet and Clank. Not going to comment on Sly Cooper because I have not played Sly Cooper, but I would argue that games like those, games like these, they get their longevity from, you know, the explorative nature of the levels. And if the exploration just isn't, in my opinion, worth your time, or doesn't feel like it's worth your time, it's kind of wasting it, then the game, in my opinion, has kind of failed to keep the audience attention. It's one of the reasons why I'm not a big fan of Mario platformers. Even though I will concede they are probably some of the best made games you're ever going to play from a technical standpoint, I don't feel like they reward the player enough for going out of their way to find things, because the exploration is a purposeful mission as opposed to something optional. Where like even with Sonic the Hedgehog back in the day, the 2D Sonic games, and to some extent some of the 3D Sonic games, if you went out of your way to explore, you would. Oh, that didn't one shot kill you? Huh. Interesting. Well, we should flamethrower then. But yeah, if you didn't go out of your way to explore, you didn't get extra lives and extra health and stuff. But they were small things. The only like real bit of exploration you got was finding the Chaos Emeralds in there, and those were an optional part of the game to get the true ending. That if you explored, you got the best ending. Alright, so I think we're going to go. See now I'm all turned around. I don't know which way I want to go first. Let's go this way first, because this is the way I did it in my original run of the game. And we're going to go left. When the rest of you go right first. Anyway, where are we getting at again? Right. Yes. Okay. So. What was it? Oh yeah, right. If you explored in Sun, you got the best ending, right? Okay. When you explored in Mario, you just got some hidden stars. And I would argue 64 and Sunshine were the last ones that really incentivized you to go out and find those hidden stars, even though Sunshine didn't really reward you for going out of your way to get everything, and what they wanted you to do to get everything, I think was just beyond egregious. In my opinion, anyway. For what you got as a 100% reward. 64, the 100% reward was okay, but it made the assumption that you were going to go back and play the levels again. And 64, I would argue, once you were done playing 64, you were not going back to that game. Okay, they could have made that one a little bit better. But yeah, I would argue with 64, once you got done playing the levels, you were not going back to them. So it's one of the reasons why, for all intents and purposes, I think Sonic and Metroid, because Metroid is a platformer. It is a platformer. It's a very heavily backtrack platformer, but it is a platformer. I would argue these two incentivize replay value more than Mario does. To some extent, even Jack and Daxter falls into this trap where there really isn't much incentive to go back through the levels if you've 100%ed it. If you haven't, then yeah, there is plenty of incentive to go back through and play the levels. At least Jack and Daxter. Jak X and Jak 3, not Jak X, Jak 2 and Jak 3. Arguably Jak 2 to a greater extent. There really isn't much need to go back through and play the game to do all the extra stuff after you 100%ed it. Is that it? Okay, that's it. So this is gonna be a distinct art. I gotta do this just right. Do this. Okay, got it. Okay, that one needs to get some choke on the first go. Well, Jak 3, I think it lets you have more fun because of the driving aspect of it. Now, that's just me personally. But I would argue that it's very hard for platformers to have a lot of replay value. So when you have these platformers like Jak and Daxter, like Mario, Banjo-Kazooie, and Ratchet and Clank, you have to have these things that you have to go out of your way to do. I would argue, like with Ratchet and Clank, when I played Up Your Arsenal and Deadlocked, I'll admit, the only reason I went back through to play those games, repeat playthroughs, wasn't the 100% of them, it was to max out the weapon levels. Okay, we'll come back to this. Okay. So yeah, we gotta come back to this. Mm. No, wait, never mind. We can do this. We can do this. Okay. I remember. I'm remembering now. And that was about it. And once the novelty of that wore off, I didn't really come back to it. Even though now with the newer games, a lot of that is just, you come back for the story, and the story of Ratchet and Clank is okay. Not the greatest, but it's okay. Where was I getting that again? Right, Daxter in the 100%ing. So when you're doing games like this and you have a heavy exploration focus on it, you gotta make sure that when the player's coming back to it, it's worth your time. And that's just a fun enough game to do, but it's not a game that I would hardcore go out of my way to 100%. It's not a game that I would hardcore go out of my way to explore. Games that I would go out of my way to explore personally on like repeat playthroughs and that kind of stuff. Well, the original Jack and Daxter trilogy. To some extent, God of War, but only as far as the first two are concerned. The third one, not so much. Not played the fourth one, so I won't comment on that one. Prince of Persia, actually, that one does a pretty good job of what's the word I'm looking for here? Of having some exploration that you can do to. Oh, just one more. Okay. To incentivize you to, really pay attention inside the levels, because if you explore, you get more chances to use your time abilities and sense of time and Warrior Within. Two Thrones I still need to actually sit down and beat. Where's the other one? Where's the other guy? That. Okay, I was about to say, did I actually kill him? I think we gotta do this right here. Okay, so I'm all out of energy, and I think I need some to do. Yes, okay, so where do I get more gas? We're a little bit crazy with the gas on my way in here, not gonna lie. I'll probably have to run back through and then come back through here. There we go. There's half the thing. So where do I start with this? But yeah, no. There are very few games that I feel actually do the replay thing very well. Like with Mario 64, if you're replaying Mario 64, more than likely you have played it enough that you can 100% that game in your sleep. Which not everyone can do. I know I can. Am I looking at this from the wrong angle? Yes, I am. Okay. I know I've gotten up there before. At least I think I have anyway. There's a stump. Oh, okay, that's what we do. Well, if it's not, then... Oh, come on. You're telling me now you want to have level geometry? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to do this right here. Okay, get us one more shot, and then we're going to move on, because we have more than enough orbs, and I've already said I'm not going to do this as a 100% run. But you need to incentivize the player to go after all these collectibles and not really waste their time, which is what, if my memory serves correct, happened with Sunshine, where you went out to get everything, and you agree with essentially a glorified JPEG. But with 64, all you got for your troubles was was 99 lives, or I think close to infinite lives. I'm in that ballpark. And that just means you can just replay the levels at your leisure, but it's like, if you were good at the game to begin with, you probably already had 99 lives, you know what I mean? So it's like, they didn't really incentivize that all that well. Okay, so I'm almost out of energy. There's one more over there. How am I going to do this? I'm going to do this. Alright, yeah, I do it like that. Okay, that works. That works. That works. So yeah. Now as far as like Cooper is concerned, I hear good things about that game. I've seen some playthroughs of it. But to look at my hands on it, I'm not going to comment on it. Okay, is there anything else around here? Nope. Okay, so we can go ahead and finish the level off, because there's just 2 more bugs in a secret area we gotta go to, which happens to be one of the bugs are, so there you go. Okay, don't know how that happened, but whoop-de-doo. And no, I don't know anything about Bubsy other than the fact that it's a terrible game, and I am not wasting my time on it. Now that I think about it, there actually is one game that I have played, and I do own it. I got it on the cheap. It's not a game I recommend if you want a quality gaming experience. I do plan on playing it for the channel at some point, but I would argue even it does replayability better than some modern day platformers, or than the platform that came out beforehand. Just a shame that it's not a really good game. But it does have a decent feedback loop, and I'll get around to that when I actually get around to playing it. It's called X-Blade, so if you want to look it up, go for it. But it is not what I call a good game. Come on. It is not what I call a good game. Not a terrible game, but definitely not a good one. You know, like, you can skip this one, you're not missing anything. Running out of energy here. Get a little too happy to flamethrower. Nothing back here. And just like that, we're back in the main area. So this is what turned me around on my first playthrough, because I just didn't wrap my head around it. And I tried to do like all this roundabout stuff. It's like, oh, I didn't need to do all this stuff. Now we got lurker sharks again. So remember, if you're directly over them, it's a one-hit kill. There we go. And this platforming challenge really tests your mettle, so what you want to do that right there. Okay, so now there's that. This is where the last one is. Now there is a combat bug upgrade up there Now that I want to get real fast. And it is kind of tricky to get to, so let's be smart about this. Okay. Okay. Now, can I get back? I believe I can. When I did this part. Oh, no. Ate my input. Okay, so now I'm going to have to cut back to there because there are some precursor orbs along the zip line back that I need to that I'm going to try to get to. So, cutting. All right, and we're back. So, I only did this just to get these precursor orbs, because even though I'm not doing 100% run, I do want to at least show off where all the orbs are that I, for real, know of. Okay, so and a lot of these are going to be kind of hard to get to because they expect you to have pretty good reflexes, and be right the zip line to the end. It's just that, once again, I think they might have timed it just a little too close. We had to get a lot of trial and error. I remember there was one zip line, and I want to say it's actually coming up pretty soon. I don't remember exactly which one it was, but there was one zip line in particular that I remember I spent 5 to 10 minutes on getting all of the precursor orbs because it was so trial and error heavy. I said error heavy. And once again, just because everything was so close. And now I get that Jack and Daxter can have some pretty tight platforming areas and some pretty tight platforming challenges here and there.
We did it. I can open the mill again. You can leave using the log chute.
Okay, so this is where you're going to get another one of your precursor orbs. I'm probably not going to come back for any of these if I miss them because, like I said, we pretty much got all the ones we need to complete the game with. Not complete the game with, but to at least get all the upgrades and stuff. See, missed one right there. And I have too much health to actually afford to take a whole bunch of damage to go back for it. So yeah, I'm not going to sweat the precursor orbs on this one. No one right there. There's no honesty, when you're coming back to do a lot of these levels, you're just coming back for a couple of orbs. It's all it is. And usually, if you're doing it right, okay, now this area I believe is different. I'm gonna say, yeah, there's that over there. Now then, how do I do this? Okay, this one's gonna be kind of tight. So I think what you want to do is this right here. Grab yourself some energy, and then I think you want to go over here, and then go like so. And we got a new combat bug. So yeah, I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to go out of my way to get the ones that I missed. If I can get them on the first run through, then I'm definitely going to get them. But beyond that, nah. You got all the upgrades we need. At this point, I am literally just doing it for completion's sake, and I don't even know where all the stuff is for completion. I might come back in like a bonus video and show off like where all the hidden ones are, as well as some that I missed. As like a complete guide, but beyond that, I'm not going to sweat it. So yeah, with that, we're done with the lumber mill. And with that, we're done. I've been Anansi, you've been awesome.
Yo, little fuzzy dude, you ready to rock over to Emerald Isle one more time? I got the zoomer fully warmed up, bro.
And on the next one, we'll be doing our second visit to Emerald Isle. I've been Anansi, you've been awesome, and I'll catch you later.